Well, he's gonna find it. Well, there's treasure waiting. It's just been hiding. Yeah, you know he'll comb the beach and he'll unearth metal. Calabash digger will find something special. He'll dig, he'll dive to find that treasure. Welcome to Calabash Digger Adventures.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
What's up, guys? I'm going to try something a little bit different today. My dog is a little bit wound up, so give me about 2 minutes. We're going to show you what he can do since the last time you guys have seen him. Slash, say hello to the camera. Speak. Hey, speak. Good boy. Good boy. Slash, place. 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 Stay. That command is when for people come in the door, I don't want him running out the door. Now check him out. Food. What's this? Slash. Leave it. Break. Break. I don't guess he wants it. You ever seen a dog that was so spoiled he didn't want food? But check this one out. Slash. Touch. Good boy. Good boy. Let's show them what you can do with the other ones real quick. Before we get on to the live stream, you guys entertain me just a minute. Touch. There you go. There you go. Slash. Come. Sit. Sit. Uh-oh, not touch. Slash. Come. Sit. Sit. Oh, you want your treat. I know what you want. Here you go. But yeah, he's come a long ways. Look how much he's growed, guys. Slash. Come right here. Sit. He's expecting it. Come. Break. Break. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Lay down. Lay down. Good boy. Stay. Stay. What's the self-control, guys? Leave it. I just laid it on his paw. Of course you ate it on camera. But he's doing really good, guys. Here, you get a good reward. All right, let's get on to metal detecting. Sorry about that. But it's almost his bedtime, and he was wound up, and he's used to me working with him. I've been trying to work with him on a schedule, and this is the time of day. Let me get over here to the other screen, and let's get on with it. What's going on, guys? We're, there we go. Uh-oh, I'm on the wrong camera here. Let me change over. And there we go. Perfect. What's been going on, guys? It's cold, rainy, and cold weather is coming. What's going on, Brian? The other side of the boat. What's going on, Digging Daryl? And the best metal detector is the one you can afford and learn at the best ability and enjoy the hobby with your friends and family if you can afford it. the best is the Manticore or the XP DEUS 2. Yeah, I mean, that's true to, you know, it's true to an extent, but I mean, we rate metal detectors here and we test them head to head. And, you know, I've seen some videos of late, settle down. I've seen some videos of late where people, you know, kind of slam testing and stuff like that. We'll talk about that a little bit. But overall, the best metal detector is the one that you can afford and the one that you can learn the best, you know. But that still doesn't change the fact that there's differences, and we're going to talk about those differences tonight. What percentage that plays out in fines, I have no idea, but we're going to talk about it. What's going on, Lance? What's going on? What's going on there? Tex, Johnny, the other side of the boat, evening. Settle down. Go to your place. Edward G, Carrie. Let's see, Mikey, my dog is wound up. He has got the zooms. Tex, we'll run him in the living room in just a minute. Andrew, Snowy Canada. Yeah, hey, that I love that. Here comes the sun. Here comes the Chiefs. But man, both are great machines, but overall, I like the Manticore over the DEUS 2 because I know the machine just, yeah, I can understand that coming in too. Donald, metal detector, Northwest Wisconsin. I got a lot of, Andrew, what's going on, man? Dano, Ohio, Zapper. Yeah, it's cold here. Thumbs up. Yeah, you guys, hey, what's going on? Oh, Carolina Outdoors. I didn't expect to have that many comments, man. 24 below. Oh, my gracious. What's up, Stephen? Yeah, we're just been chilling out, man. Been doing some metal detecting. Let me switch over to this camera, and I'll show you a few finds that I have hit of late. And we'll talk about lucky Carolina Digger here. Let me hit the Insta, not that one. You guys, give me just a minute. I'm having all kinds of trouble. There we go. So here's some flat buttons, and I got some more than this. I got more than this, but I got some in my fine pouch. Get down. And this is some of the flat buttons that I got last time. And I want to talk, you know, a lot about this site right here that me and Carolina Digger have been hunting over the last couple of weeks. And it's a hammered site, and I was thinking about when I say that, you know, that has different meanings to different people. And when I say iron loaded, that has different meanings to different people. And you know, he found this. Let's go look at what he found real quick. We'll come back. I'm going to get my dog calmed down, and we're going to dive into these to this metal detector talk. And let me see if I can find it here. This is just about a minute and something clip of what he found the other day. Man, I have beat him overall for number of artifacts recovered. But he has just tore me up on the quality ones. So I'd rather dig 2 quality artifacts than 100, you know, not so good ones, you know. But check this out, guys. Check this out, what he found. Uh-oh, I heard silver. And it's small. Uh-oh. Yeah, the loggers were off. I didn't turn it on. There goes a rabbit, dude. Scared me to death. Thought it was a bear. 65. It's a what? 65. 65. That's probably down around the Real range, man. I think it's smaller than Hold on. Hold on. It looks different. Hold on. Let me get on it. Oh,
looks like something I've never seen before.
Uh-oh. Is it a cat?
No, I don't know.
Dude, is it a cat?
That don't look like an eagle. Man, I hate to even grab my water out of there.
Okay. Guys, we got, dude, man.
Grab that water out
dude,
of there.
there's been like it's been rough, right?
It's been rough.
It's been rough, man.
It's the only artifact really we have done besides
well, the
that.
lantern piece.
The lantern piece.
Dude, there's iron everywhere. I mean, there's iron everywhere. So it just shows.
What's a cap?
It's a cap.
It's a cap, and it's a perfect shape.
That's what I was thinking. Half. Yeah, it's a cap.
Oh my God, it's a cap bust half time.
Man, this guy, you know, he goes to the hospital with some gallbladder bull crap. It comes out that
1835. 1835.
That's it. Let's get it where the camera can see it good. Because I've been I want to make sure they can see it because I noticed in some of my other finds. Dang cap.
1835.
Look at that, guys. I don't know how well that's focusing, but dude, you couldn't find a better coin. I can
It's
see
in perfect shape.
I can see
it
the
was
date.
dropped yesterday.
Dude, is that
believe
your
it.
first cap?
Only cat bust dime I've
Dude,
ever. I
those
didn't
are
even know they existed
Those
until a
are
couple years ago.
hard to get, dude.
Wow, that's
Well-
going in a special.
Well, that tells me what we need to do.
We need to clean this area
Out. Right there out of that hole. Dude.
Holy moly!
Was it an iffy signal or was it just laying there? That little old coal, the smoke.
I was headed towards this because I think the home site's actually out here.
Yep.
See that brick land?
Yeah, right there's the
There's
brick.
brick right there.
There's brick, okay.
There's brick back here, and I was just thinking I was going to head through here and get in this little opening. And I got right here, and this is the only signal really besides a shotgun shell that I found that was repeatable.
Yeah.
And it sounded sweet, but it was a 65, and plus all these loggers landing right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I thought probably a bottle cap
Yeah.
or something, and then here this baby is.
Lucky sucker. In the week, hey, and me and him's heading out in the morning before the cold weather gets here too. The lucky sucker got an eagle over cannon cuff button, and I didn't get that put in this live, but just a nice coin. And we've been running kind of some experiments. You've seen from the intro that I'd been at the beach. Well, I went down a few days ago, and me and my wife went down and stayed and just kind of got away just for a night, kind of a staycation. You guys know that I live close to the beach. But we went down and I ran the Manicore with the little 5x8 coil on the beach. And you said, man, why did you do that? Well, I was testing it to see what the small stuff, to dig micro gold off the beach. And I can say this without a doubt. I dug the smallest stuff and I've dug micro stuff with the Equinox, the DEUS 2, the Manicore 11-inch coil. But this stuff was so small that pinpointer wouldn't even hit it. And it comes down to this right here with that, reward versus effort. But I can say this, that Tom Dankowski pointed this out, that on the beach, the Manicore with that 5x8 coil was hitting the smallest stuff he had ever seen. And I concur with that. With 2 outings, about 5 hours on that coil on the sanded in beach, it was digging the smallest stuff. I found a couple of pieces of junk jewelry. Just not enough. If the beach would, had a cut in it down to the hard pack, it would be very, very interesting to get in there with that little coil. But here's what's been going on. If you notice on the Manicore videos and the DEUS 2 hunt videos, Carolina Digger has been using the 5x8 coil. I've been using the DEUS 2 with the 9-inch coil. Now, I've been hunting in a place that has high EMI. The Manicore handles it, but the fast program on the DEUS 2 is a little bit too affected by the EMI for my liking there. So I've been, using the DEUS mono with a frequency shift of 6, which bumps it up into the 45 kilohertz range, and I have been knocking fire with that 45 kilohertz on that 9-inch coil as far as recoveries made. But like I said, he's been killing me on the quality finds. He found that beetle piece. If you guys seen the video, just a cool piece about this big. And we've been cross-checking machines a good bit. Not every target because we kind of separated out a little bit in there, but we've been doing it a good bit. And it's tit for tat, on the, get out from back there now. Get out from back there. It's a head-to-head, shootout with the two, and they're very, very close. We did have a target the other day that the DEUS 2 called low and the Manicore called high. I believe the Manicore was more accurate in the iron on the ID of that target, but you guys know we don't care about the ID in the iron. It's just, we're just checking to see how they're beeping and how they stack up and how the Falson's going. Can he call a nail with a Manicore, and I call it, you know what I mean? Just to see how this, and they're really, really, really close. Guess I'll have to settle for a mic. Yeah. I got this one with the Last Elite that I bought. It's going good, John. Getting ready to go out tomorrow, and just thinking. I seen a video, the other day, a little bit of it, and it was talking about best metal detectors, and it was talking about NOKTA, Minelab, XP, and I heard some slurs off of the testing. And basically, the person come to the thing that I'd already said, that, from testing them head to head, that the, the variance or the gap between performance of the three brands has shrunk, been shrunken down. Minelab and XP has an advantage over NOKTA. But is it a $500 advantage? Well, I'll let you be the judge on that. On the beach, it's 2 to 3 inches. XP has over the triple and the Legend. When you look at this, are you ever going to dig a 15-inch nickel on the beach? With, I don't know if that's reality or not, but I know that in testing, that's how it tests out. There were some sharpshooter, me and him was talking about some of this and talking about best, and there's some overgeneralizations of some of this stuff. And some people believe that, well, only going out to the field counts. Well, that's great and all too, but the problem is the people that, the guy said that he had taken 2 detectors to the field and he had hunted and he had tested a couple of, hey, get out from under there now. And he had tested a couple of them and said that he had done some head-to-heads with no video evidence. And I just had some questions about that. Well, how many targets were in the test sample? Did you test 50 targets, 100 targets, or 10,000 targets? What type of iron sight were you on? Before we just make a generalization and say it's a very rare exception that a Minelab, Manticore, or DEUS 2 will beat out a Legend or a triple score. And I'm telling you, they're closer in performance than they were, but this overgeneralization, yes, you are getting something for your money when you cross that $1,000 mark with the XP and Minelab. And the question is it worth to you? I would hunt with a triple and I would hunt with a Legend if that is all I had, or that was in all my budget could afford, because they are the best bang for the buck going. But I do have a Manticore and I do have a DEUS 2, and I don't per se hunt with a triple score or a Legend because I know that they have an advantage, and it ain't just hitting targets. You have an advantage. You got to think about things like audio quality, audio nuance. And XP has the best audio nuance, and I think Minelab has the best audio quality, if that makes sense. Get out from over here. Give me that. What you got? Give me that. You can't have that money. Go. You grab my money. But, I guess what I was thinking about, in this live was just the overgeneralization of it, because you can't just take 2 detectors out, compare them head to head on 10 targets and deem them the same. It doesn't work like that, because there's settings, and here's another thing. When we're talking about these detectors we're talking about which is the best, we're talking about multi-frequency. They also have single frequency settings on them. But what about soil conditions? I think that, of all the guys that are on my lives and, on my channel, I think we would agree that Minelab beats them all in hot dirt. I think Minelab is the king of hot dirt. So the overgeneralization kind of bothered me about what the gentleman said. In no video evidence, let's see something. Tell us how many targets you tested. Let's see 1,000 clips where you've run these machines. I've seen this a lot lately about this testing business, and saying things, well, the iron in the ground ain't the same as those nails on top of the ground. Well, I do in-ground testing too, but here's the thing. It definitely doesn't get any better when you place it in the ground. I'm not saying that backyard testing or, controlled testing is the end-all, but how did I arrive pretty much at the same conclusion that guy did, or a similar conclusion that guy did, and I didn't drag them around in the field and try to find 1,000 targets to test them on. And then you got to find out, well, what if you take 3 detectors, A, B, and C, and you just pick one, C, and it hits the shallowest, easiest targets in the iron, and you find all the targets with that, well, then B and A will hit every target that C, but A is actually the better detector in iron. How do you even know which one to use without doing some kind of controlled test to see which one is the best and which one should be the control? But let me get back over here to the comments. Let's see here. Let's see. What's going on, man? man, you guys be safe over there, man. That's a lot of crap going on. You guys be safe. And it works, but I have to hunt in single frequency. Why do you have to hunt in single frequency, detector guy? XP needs to fix numerous issues with the full-time FW since M1K. Iron filters and silent need to be fixed across the board in the next firmware. If it fixed, S2 will be the king. I don't know what you're talking about. 1.0 had I fought some problem, and 1.1 come out, and then 2.0 I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I really don't have a problem with them, but maybe let me think about that. I don't know what you're talking about. You kind of. To learn the size of a target by audio with the Manicore, but once you learn it, you know, before you dig it. Minelab, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's an overgeneralization, but I do agree with Dig and Daryl. Whatever you can afford and are willing to learn is the best detector for you. You know, this is a hobby at the end of the day. I'm kind of in it hardcore, and I do find some bottles that are worth money, but that's outside of the detecting arena. And I do sell a few bottles to help fund that. So I bought better lights. And, you know, because of that, you know, I spent some money on some lights, you know, to illuminate what I'm looking at underwater. And it's the same kind of thing in metal detecting. The best that I can afford, I want the best tool for the job. And the Legend and the Triple Score are amazing. The Elite's amazing. It is by far the best time to be a detectorist, but it's still not the same. You know, what do I mean? I mean, some people say it's a rare exception. I heard that said. Some people say it's 5%. You might find 2%, 5%, 10%. And I just don't know how we, you know, gauge that or determine, you know, over 3 years of hunting with a Manicore DEUS 2, how many more finds? Because is so subjective to sites, what type of sites you have. But I'm going to talk about the site that me and Carolina Digger's on. And we're just going to jump off of this for a minute. 8-inch with 2-foot stake line. Yeah, even with it on the mat, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It works in bad ground better. Yeah. You know, the sites. So the sites that these buttons come from, the cap bus come from, are heavy iron sights. And I will, in this next video, when I go tomorrow, I'll do about a 2-minute clip. Hey, get out from over there. Get out from over there. Go get in your place. Go. I will do a clip. He gets the zoomies about this time of day. Of the iron content. It is horrendous. You know, I mean, it is horrendous. When you're on rice plantations from the 1800s, there was just an extensive amount of work going on, and it is horrendous. It's big iron, small iron, nails, odd-shaped iron, flat iron, horseshoes, mule shoes. It's just a crazy amount of iron, and it's just like, you know, when you're in the thick of it, that's just how it rolls. And the site that we're on has probably got 150 yards of just horrendous iron. And it's been hit over the years because it used to be you could access it, the public could access it, but it's since been bought and turned into private land. And they just hunted it for years. And I mean, you could tell, I know good stuff was found off of it through the grapevine, the old timers. But we're going in with the more modern detectors, and we are unlocking finds. But I'm not going to tell you that it's like shooting fish in a barrel. We are probably pretty well. I found about $200 in change last year. I found $14,000 in buttons one time digging there. I found 2 buttons and got $14,000 for them. We'll talk about that later. But it's not easy. And, you know, and in testing these detectors and thinking about, some people say, well, I took a detector out hunting and it's good, or it's good, it's great. And I'm just like, well, I don't know your skill level. So if somebody says, well, I took the Manicore out, I took the DEUS 2 out, and I took the Triple Score out, and I took the Garrett Vortex out. They're all about the same. The Vortex just has less bells and whistles, but you know, you're going to find 95% of the things with all of those, the cheaper detectors that you will with them two high-end ones. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I know that in the testing that I can show you, that in some areas there's a big difference in the high-end detectors than the other ones in some aspects. With the audio, the way that they separate, the way that they report iron. And does that translate to 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I know that in real time that I can see a difference in those detectors. But the overgeneralization of just saying that all of them are the same, that's not the case. Or all of them good? Yeah. I would say that in 2024 from NOKTA, Minelab, and XP, if you've got any of those detectors, you've got a good detector and you've got a capable detector. But it does not change the fact that there are differences in them. Let's see here. So the site that we're on is horrendous. And I mean, you got to be on your A game. They dug the shotgun pellets off. How many of you guys relate to what I'm talking about? This is something that, you know, some of these sites that we step on are pretty historic as far as age goes, and there is pretty unique or pretty special experience to be on them. And I'm just wondering how many people have actually been on sites like this that date back to some of the first settlements in the United States. We're on sites that are early, and they ran up past the Civil War. Some of them even ran up into modern times, but this one ran up past the Civil War, and it's just horrendous. But how many of you guys relate to that? I know that Northwest Detecting Northwest Georgia does. Go get dog treats, but it can pay pretty well. Yeah, it can pay pretty well. We got some really bad soil, red iron rocks, and yeah, the Manicold operates decent good, way better than the other. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So then that divide becomes more. And then when you start talking about best, that even becomes more prevalent in the hot dirt. In my soil that is so mild, it's more narrower. So if you take the Manicold, the DEUS 2, the Legend, the Triple Score, you know, and you test them in the Elite, in the Equinox, they're closer, but there's still differences. But they're closer. But I think that when you start getting into that hot dirt, you're going to see Minelab even inch out over XP, with XP being second and NOKTA being third. Now, Relics and Rings showed the Vortex. It was just like an apex in his hot dirt, causing you to keep. John, this dog's got hundreds of dollars worth of chew toys. You ought to see my other room. He wants to chew my shoe or dirty sock over the $20 chew toy. Stuck in California. Ooh, I hope you're okay, man. The coil to the soil is the only way to find it. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. But, you know, what are you hunting? What type of hunting are you doing? You know, relic hunting is my love or my passion. I like to shoot for coins here and there. I like to beach hunt here and there. But hunting that heavy iron, and I'm going to do particularly the video that I do tomorrow. You guys watch out for it. You know, no matter if we find anything or don't find anything, I'm going to go over and I'm going to particularly try to make a point to show the iron content that I'm talking about hunting. It's very challenging, you know, and you got to be on your A game to hunt it. And I want to talk just something a minute about the Vortex. You know, there's been some, you know, I haven't talked any more about the Vortex, and I've seen a few comments and this, that, and the other about the Vortex. And, you know, let's talk honestly and openly about that machine for just a minute, about relic hunting. The beach program on the Vortex, to me, is its strongest suit. The IDs and multi-frequency are still messed up. Garrett's not fixed that yet. Will they fix it? I don't know. But there's a problem with the Vortex, and I'm going to show you guys the problem with it, and this is going to plague this machine till the cows come home for relic hunting. And there ain't no getting around this. You can talk about it's a good machine. You can talk about I took it out and found some stuff with it. If he took it out and hunted with it, he found some stuff, and other people took it out and hunted. I could actually take any of these detectors that I own, even the single frequencies, out with the low frequency and find stuff. That doesn't mean jack. The thing is, and some people don't like this, what are you leaving behind? Well, I'm going to show you something just real quick with the DEUS 2, and it's just demonstrating frequency. And I have hammered this home on my lives over and over again, and I want to talk about it right now one more time. When you're hunting heavy iron, and especially in sites that have been hit hard over the years, if you want to be able to pull out stuff like this right here, and yes, this stuff, they may have missed some of it, but a lot of it is due to the high frequencies that we're running in these detectors. And I'm going to demo it right here real quick for you guys, and then we're going to come back and talk about it, because this is really going to plague that Vortex for as long as it's around. Just check this out, guys, and then we'll talk about it. Guys, we're going to talk about frequency just for a minute. And the new Garrett Vortex only runs 25 kilohertz. And, a lot of people are talking about this, and we're going to talk about it in a live stream. And I've talked about 40 kilohertz versus 25 kilohertz. And we talk about the 40 kilohertz and the advantages of the higher frequency in unmasking. We can see what we got here. We've got, I'll show you guys the settings, volume 6, or sensitivity 6. There's the volume wide open, 25 kilohertz, frequency shift 4, recovery speed 1. We can bump it to 2. It doesn't matter. You see that gold ring right here? This is a gold ring. Look how big this target is. You see that? You see that nail right there? Watch this. This machine absolutely will not see that gold ring. Look at the ID. It's hitting the iron. I just got the iron volume cut off. Go back and show you guys that. Iron volume is cut down. You see that? We can cut the iron volume up where you guys can hear it. Did we get a little bit down the barrel? That's the easy way. We should. Every now and then. Is that? But look at the ID. So it's right there. You gotta see that, right? So that's 25 kilohertz. And on this machine, I believe that the multi doesn't run higher than 25. Look. Gets it the easy way. Lift the coil up. Gets it the easy way. But look at this coming down the barrel of that nail. No kind of non-ferrous tone. Let's just listen to the tones here on the DEUS 2 set up in mono. Give me a second. All right, guys, we're going to set the DEUS 2 up in mono. Get the big number so you guys can see. The DEUS 2 has a little nuance where it gives a low VDI, but when it gives this, but listen to this non-ferrous tone. Now, what is that? That is we'll cut the discrim up to 6.1. We'll go with sensitivity 90, frequency 45. What? Look at that, guys. Frequency 45. Because I got the frequency shift on. We got the iron volume on, off, reactivity, audio response. We'll go in here to show you the tones. Pitch, silencer 0. We'll run the silencer up to 3. Let's see what happens. Starts acting like but I run it normally at a 1. Show you it's not the nail. Not the nail, right? Wonder what happens if we get it even closer. I don't know if it'll hit it right there. No, none of them probably will. Hits it coming down. But that's a difference between frequency. And that right there is going to plague the Vortex. And it's, you know, from start, its launch, to the end. If they cannot change that through a firmware update, why in the world would anybody that relic hunts in iron buy a Vortex 25 kilohertz maxed out when you can buy a triple score? I know that it doesn't do it in the single frequencies, but the triple score runs 40 kilohertz in the multi. The Elite runs 40 kilohertz, and I can show both of those detectors, and I probably should have done it, passing that simple test with that low to mid-conductive gold ring laying in iron, and show them just smoking that Vortex. And it's based off of that high frequency and it being able to unmask in the iron. And I've talked about this till I'm blue in the face. And people keep saying, well, the Vortex is a good detector. I took it out and found some relics. Yeah, but I can tell you something. If you're on a heavy iron site like I've hunted, you left some relics too, that the triple score, the Elite, the Legend, the Equinox, and the WS6 Master, the DEUS 2, and the Manicore could easily find hiding in the iron. And you guys can take away from that what you want, but that is the facts. And that is the engineering part of the Vortex that is flawed, and that, in my opinion, makes it irrelevant for today's relic hunting machines. It's outdated. It's obsolete, in my opinion, at release, because it does not run up in the 40 kilohertz spectrum, and that makes it a lesser unmasker than the triple score. And you see this like when you get down into mid conductors and low conductors, but we can look at one more thing right here too, and we will, but let me run down through these comments real quick. A lot of people talking later recently on some, hey, Abraham Lincoln, that is cool, man. We're going to look at a high conductor in just a second. Heard it said that an experienced detector with a less sophisticated will outdo a novice with the most, because the experienced detector knows what the machine is saying. Well, I don't like that. I don't like that, Ski, too, because here's the problem with that. People use that to say, oh, I can take a whatever, detector A, and it costs $89, and if I learn it 1,000 hours, then I can keep up with a novice with a DEUS 2. Well, there's a problem with that, because detector A, you know, like the detector that I started with, an ACE 250, I found my first silver quarter or coin with that, and that got me hooked on detecting. But the problem is if something is past 6 or 7 inches, the detector, the ACE 250 in my soil won't even sound on it, where something may be at a foot deep with the DEUS 2 in a factory preset program and it tone on it. So these machines that have these programs, these factory preset programs now, that, you know, the novice just goes out and digs a non-ferrous beep, you know, I just don't like that saying, because it's well, what about this? What about a dude like me that's skilled with a DEUS 2 or a Manicore? I'm exceptionally skilled with both of those, but even more skilled with the DEUS 2, underwater and on land. What about the person that learns the top tier detectors, you know, the best they can, or the triple score, or the NOKTA Legend, or the Minelab Elite? They're dangerous. The triple score, the NOKTA Legend, and the Minelab Elite, those people are dangerous to you if you got sights and you take them, if they learn those. But there's a line there somewhere. And for me, that line is crossed when you come up and you go to the Equinox 800, and then we see the multi-frequency detectors that NOKTA has put out, the Legend, the triple score, the Elite from Minelab, the WS6 Master. The line is crossed there, that those are high-performing detectors. So, yeah, I've heard that said before, too. I don't really like that saying, because it's basically trying to take away, and you are taking away from the engineers at NOKTA, Minelab, and XP, because they have created some excellent performing machines. So, can somebody that's experienced with an ACE 250 out-hunt somebody with a triple score? I'd like to see it in a factory preset program, in a patch of iron. I'd just like to see it with my own eyes. I don't know. The Berkshire treasure hunt going good. Just up the XP that say that the ground setting mineralized rock are more valuable. Distance. Yes, I am too, Digging Daryl. They're supposed to send me one. I'm very interested in that coil. The Manicore uses a higher weighted frequency. It seems to unmask it, but it's more affected by depth. Yeah, I like the low conductor on it. The fast one I've not had as good as luck, but a lot of people say they have. 100 more than the Vortex. Yeah. That's true. Make some videos using the Vortex. It would help people who already bought it trying to figure it out. I'm just not going to do it, Daryl. I'm not going to waste my... Dude, I don't mean to sound like that. They put me in a bad predicament not putting 40 kilohertz on that machine, and I don't want to make anybody feel bad that's a fan of it and they bought it, but I'm not going to take it out and hunt with it. There is no way that I'm going to do that because I know 25 kilohertz is not sniffing out the goods. Not saying that I might not have found one or two of these buttons or three of these buttons that I found. I'm not saying that. But it is clearly evident that 25 kilohertz is not even close to the 40 kilohertz of the Elite or the Legend or the Triple Score or the WS6 Master, or, we'll just keep it in those price ranges. It's not even close. So that's not going to be me. Maybe the other gent down in, will do it. So we'll see. But I'm not going to do it. Yeah. Even if they come out with an update, as far as even if they come out with an update, it's got the frequency's a problem on this machine. It's an unmasking problem. 25 kilohertz, you just cannot get there. You can't get there from 25 kilohertz. Men sharpshooters talked about this a lot, and it's just, you can test the machines that you have, guys. Test the Manicore against itself. 25 versus 40 in unmasking test. The DEUS 2, 25 versus 40, 45 in unmasking. Just test it against itself, and you will see the difference those frequencies make when unmasking those targets. XP would go ahead. It's supposed to be pretty soon. Now, look, I was thinking about that last night. I said they told me soon back in the summer, and I'm never doing that again. They told me soon back in the summer, and here it is, going into late January. So next time somebody tells me something's coming out, I'm just going to say it's coming out. I'm not saying soon. So they had to work on that coil. That was a tough coil for them to build, I think. To just swung for an hour. Not happening. Even my Vanquish runs 40. That's right. I can't wait. And this is what's going to be cool about that. So Carolina Digger's been running the Manicore with a 5x8 coil, but what about when I get that elliptical coil on the DEUS 2 and set it up 70-something kilohertz in the iron? What's going to happen? I can't wait to run that. Don't treat on me. Yes, we have Civil War items coming to don't have it out here in metal detector's only as good as its operator. That's true. But if a good operator has a sorry metal detector, what does that mean? If a good metal detector has a sorry metal detector, then what does that do to the metal detectors that's good and willing to learn? Where does that rank his capabilities? Just asking. But the good news, the saving grace, you can get into the top tier performing detectors starting at $499 today. And you guys all know that is a blessing today in this world to be able to buy a detector starting at $499 that performs good. I couldn't believe how much improvement I made since the last time we hunted together. I'm using Legend, and he was just shaking his head about the difference. There you go. That 40 kilohertz and them programs. Manicore coil. I don't know about that one. It may just be a rumor. I don't know. I don't have any insight with them. I talked to a couple of Minelab guys, but they ain't hinted or mentioned or anything like that. So if there is one, they're keeping a tight lid on it. They ain't letting nothing slip. Let's see what here. The Berkshire, I pulled a roached out Civil War Air mat. Oh, that's cool. By the Vortex backup. Glad I didn't, LOI. I'm trying to get my hands on the Quest Hyper Tread from Europe. Yeah, I heard that Quest is coming to the United States. You can only, there you go. I want you to look at Stephen Curry's comment right there. You can only perform as good as your machine. Just think about that for a moment. It's true. I've known this for years. A lot of people don't believe that. A lot of people think that you can take some, but you can. You can only perform as good as your machine. But the good thing is today, that gap between NOKTA, Minelab, and XP has shrunk some. And you can go out with a triple score, a Legend, a Minelab Elite. A double score will do this too. It just does not have as many features. You're limited on tones and all this too. A double score runs at high frequency too. A Vanquish does good too. We remember when Minelab released that. But are there differences between the Manicore and XP DEUS 2? Yeah, there is. But those detectors, you're dangerous when you learn them. When you learn a Legend, an Elite, an Equinox 600, an Equinox 800, 900, 700, you're dangerous. I mean, it's the technology's there that you can be very dangerous. Do I believe that you can eke out more fines with the DEUS 2 and the Manicore at the end of the day? Yes, I do. I do believe that. What percentage is it? I don't know. Do I think it's 50%? Absolutely not. Do I think it's 20%, 10%? Maybe, But even if it's 10% and you hunt for 3 years, what does that equal in your odds category over? But you go with what, like Dig and Darrell said, what you can afford and what you become skilled with, because it is true that if you buy a DEUS 2, a Manicore, a Legend, a Minelab 900, Equinox 900, a Manicore, a Elite, a triple score, double score, if you don't learn it, it's useless. It's like having a nice, tool that you just don't know how to use, and you just got a nice tool and you're unskilled with it. Skill comes into play with that too. You guys, how long have I been on here? 47 minutes running my mouth. But yeah, it's, what is the best detector in 2025? Well, it's definitely one from NOKTA, Minelab, or XP. And this is what I'm going to sum it up as. Whichever one of those that you can afford, that falls in your price range, and you learn it well then you've got the best metal detector for you in 2025, and your will be dangerous from the triple score to the, it's just, probably should have named this live stream something else, but this detector that I just showed you, hey, let's look at this one more time about frequency on a high conductor, guys. So check this out real quick. I'm going to take a bathroom break while I got this on. Half dime. Smoking it. Let's see what it does, the Vortex does. I'll be right back. Coming down the barrel with the Vortex. Easy way. Down the barrel. Well, how did you throw another piece of iron in this thing? Just something like that. I'll slide it into where the Vortex won't hit it. Okay, so let's check the DEUS 2 again. Be right back. The DEUS 2, will it hit it? I doubt it. Well, it does. Let's try something here, but you guys see that frequency matters when it comes to iron unmasking, so stay tuned. Frequency matters when it comes to iron unmasking. If you don't get anything from this live stream, you need to get that. Frequency matters when it comes to iron unmasking. And if you have any of the machines that I've talked about, the triple, the Elite won't do it because it only has one set of single, but you can do it with the Equinoxes, you can do it with the Manicore, the WS6 Master, the DEUS 2, the triple, the Legend. Go in there, test it against itself, just a very simple test, and you will get a clear picture of how important the frequency is in the heavy iron and the iron unmasking, and what it does. There will be a bigger difference on lower conductors than higher conductors usually, but it is a major difference when you start getting into these older brass buttons and things like that, and the older pewter buttons, the Civil War buttons, stuff like that. Gold coins will fall into this category. That higher frequency is going to give you a major advantage. And I know that you guys that follow me know this, but for the guys that don't, you know, I just wanted to the triple score. Yeah, I think Dig and Daryl, that would be a very, very good place to start. Let's see here. Let me back up here. Let me get back up here. Ooh, oh, there's text. Let's see here. Well, you can only perform as good as your machine. That's the correct way to say it, Stephen. Yeah, maybe I don't say it correctly. That's the, yeah, that's a, you know, they said the HF2 course shipping in March. That's probably true. I know that it's close. How close? I'm not even gonna say it. It's coming sometime. Tech says he'll always grab his DEUS2. He's been detecting a long time. If your signals on the Manicore are likely signals that you wouldn't hear at all, there you go. I think it was this button right here I dug the other day on the DEUS2. Let me see if I can get it to focus. This button right here, it's not a giant button. It's probably, you know, it's thin, and these buttons come in low, but it was a very iffy, scratchy, rough signal that I was probably about 50-50 on. And the sites that I'm hunting, I'm cutting out targets that I'm 30-70, going 30, maybe 30%, 70%, no, it's iron. Because the sites have been hit so hard that's what we're having. We're having to push the top tier units to get these, you know, to get these mass targets. Now, there's still some targets laying here, there, and yonder out that you know, people miss, but up in this iron core, we're pushing these units really, really hard. And that's a, I will, like I said, I will do some filming tomorrow and show you guys what we're hunting. And that is a very good statement, Stephen, that an iffy signal on a Manicore, hey, and I'll even go further than that, Stephen. Some signals on a Manicore and a DEUS2 that are easy, other detectors wouldn't hit. Just think about that one for a minute. Look at that gold ring and that vortex out there. You know what I'm saying? So just look at that signal to learn the machine and gel with it, or it's only, yeah, that's true. The more you get out with it, the more you, under control as my ex, but once it got under control, it was a great machine. I agree with Daryl on this. The triple score would be, yeah, I don't want to do that either. I don't want to handicap myself. Late 80s, things have changed. I've learned so much. This machine is getting better. I told you this on the last stream, your video on the Manicore. Hey, I appreciate it, Brian, and good luck with that, man. Good luck with that. I think that is definitely the best place to start, at least with the Xterra Pro or NOKTA score minimum. Yeah, the Elite's a good place too now. I run zero discrimination. All my programs, very rarely will I bump it up. Hey, what's going on, William? What's going on? Wonder why Gary Skill. I don't know. I know that he's left, but I don't know why. I don't know why. Equinox 9 are best program to run here in our area. You need a top tier machine these days to find good targets on hard hit sites. Subpar units just won't cut it. I'm on a hard hit site. I'll show it to you guys tomorrow, but I was just going to come on here and just talk about some of this overgeneralization, you know, that's out there. You know, testing metal detectors, I enjoy doing that, but I enjoy finding stuff more. I know sometimes you see me do a lot of testing videos, especially on a new release like the Vortex, and look what we found on it. I mean, they did update it and fix the silver coin ID on it. So, but that frequency is a problem on that metal detector. You know, there's another thing about iron hunting too. and learning that. I need to do some videos on that. It's hard. How many of you guys think you consider yourself a pretty skilled iron hunter? Modern trash, different ball game, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Civil War era, heavy colonial iron, and just learning the nuances of trying to go through all them bips and bops and beeps and 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 just sound like a machine gun, and some kind of audio feedback in your headphones almost on every movement of the swing. How many of you guys feel that you're proficient in that type of hunting? Just thumbs up, or how many of you guys think that you're good at that? Or I think I'm good at it. I mean, I feel like that I could go out and hunt with just about anybody. I'm very confident in my skills with that. But I'm going to tell you something. Learning and getting there were some painful moments with that, man, and a lot of holes dug and a lot of nails dug from years ago of learning, how to differentiate, learning how to just kind of, pick through it, not just run through it, and it's a lot to it. But I think that probably that is the hardest, or one of the hardest types. Modern trash is rough too. But the iron hunting, that's in my mind, when I look at skill sets, that's a pretty tough skill set when you got thousands of targets laying out there and you're just running your coil over it trying to pick it out. I love the iron and trash. Yes. That digging Darryl, I knew he hunted Civil War artifacts. I knew he would be in there to break down and get a manicore as well. Not back up to the desk too, but as equal machines. There you go, man. You know what's funny about that is I was looking at that on testing today because me and Carolina Digger was talking, and I kept thinking about, I'm going to switch over and use the manicore too with the 5x8 coil. And I've kind of resisted, and I was testing it today, and I said, you know what? I said, no, I'm going to keep running this experiment. I'm going to leave him with the 5x8 coil. I'm going to use the 9-inch coil. And then, use the high frequency weighted programs. And then if I have to use mono around the high MI, I'm going to use the 45 kilohertz. And just see how it plays out, because we're going to do a lot of hunting over the next 2 months. I'm not diving the rest of the winter. So we got some good spots, and we're going to blister. And we're going to keep running those experiments in heavy iron and see how it plays out. Right now, quality finds, he's got me whipped, but I've got him beat on number of artifacts. So we'll see how it all plays out. Hunting the same site, same type of areas. Love iron and trash, yes sir. I'm working on trying to learn, but also hit parts that sound like a machine gun that never run out of shells. Yeah. Hey, and that's bad when they're shell casings and they sound like coins. That's some tough digging too. Iron patch and be content. I'm drawn. There you go. Me too, man. I love that type of hunting. It's an art form, man. It's just an art form, And the site that we're on, to be honest with you, probably needs to be sifted. And here's the sad thing about it. I'm not going to give much away because the locals around here that watch my lives and stuff, but it is old. It is one of the first places, that were settled here, and it's going to be under subdivision in the next few years. There's subdivisions coming up all around it, and you guys seen me show this, and this one, it probably needs to be sifted. We seen Indian pottery on the site the other day, Westerwald, pipe stems, blue feather, green feather. Staffordshire slipwares come off of that site. The yellow stuff with the brown lines. If you're ever out and you see yellow pottery that looks kind of crude with like brown lines down through, that is Staffordshire. You need to hunt that area. That is some of the earliest stuff in our country. It come out of Staffordshire, England. And if you see that pottery or the blue feather or the green feather edge, that's where you need to be. Go out with hammered spots from my days too, and the Equinox, we dig up stuff. Yes, the iron, and when I'm on sites like these, I want to be in the iron content because I know that they've been hammered. I know the old timers hammered them. And those targets that are just easy finds that are just laying out in the open, yes, it's true that you can still find them, but I feel like the ones that are missed or their machines wouldn't hit are in the heavy iron on a percentage level, that's where your best percentage is, finding them. To figure out why in the world it is with some iron items. Yeah, and you get an ear for that. What you're calling sounds good. I've heard people say before, but you get an ear for it. You will get an ear for it. You will spend most of your time, honey, trying to get some settings figured out. So much reward to pull something from iron, especially after you let your buddy swing over it. He says, I wouldn't dig it. Yeah. I had somebody do that one time. Said, hey, I got a signal over here. And we were on a very early site. And they said, I ain't digging that. I listened to it for a second. I said, I'm digging anything with a non-ferrous. It was a big old silver walking $50. But it was on, I mean, it was an early site. You can make bad signals sound good sometimes if you're not careful. That's true. That is true. That is true. That is true. You can get that thing just toned in there and wedged in there, and really do it. But I'm going to jump off of here. Let me get to the end of the comment. I've only been detecting only a little 2 years, but it's the best. Yes, it is very good. Been shell cases. 12. Ooh, that's ugly. Feel old sawmill, general store. Oh yeah. Did you get efficient at the iron game? I know goodies. They are. And maybe I'll do a video from the site, just like a little instructional video. It's basically a trial and error deal. You can look at some of the general settings that we use in hunting the iron. I've got some on the DEUS 2, or others have. And it's basically, you just got to get in the iron patch and go at it, and you got to just dig some holes, and you will eventually start figuring it out. You chase 40 nails and you'll be like, something don't sound right about that, or big pieces of iron. It'll start clicking with you, but you're gonna have to put the spade in the ground. But hey, that's cool, Lance. That's cool. We're just talking brass. Iron at all times. My latest find was a gold gilded pre-Civil War. Ooh, that's a nice one there, Mikey. Congrats, man. Art form and rewards are fantastic. Yeah, over a year ago that. I got a place so thick in iron it sounds like a yes. Bigger targets to coins, maybe with that new HF coil, I hope. That's what we're hunting in. Gatling gun out. I mean, it's rough. It's really rough. Well, hey, I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. And I just, they're all from NOKTA, Minelab, and XP. The detectors are close. And whichever one you've got in your arsenal, get out there and use it. But I will say this, if you do not have a detector at this time that is running its multi-frequency, or it has single frequency settings that can run up into the 40 kilohertz range, you are missing items in iron. So if you're thinking about upgrading, you need to look at one of these ones like the Elite or the Triple or the Legend or the DEUS 2, whatever you can afford, or whichever way you want to go, the Manicore, Equinox, that has that inside their multi-frequency or in single frequency settings, which the Triple Score, the Elite do not have it in single frequency, but they do have it in multi-frequency settings. This will give you an advantage in hunting iron. It will let you unlock, and hey, I appreciate it, Brian. And as things get tougher, sights get slimmer, sights are hit harder, we need all the advantage we can get. And just remember that in that iron, that high frequency, if you didn't get anything from this live stream, is key into finding those mass targets that have been missed over the years or are hiding in certain unmasking situations. Hey guys, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate 3 years with DEUS 2, and it's still you might want to buy you a Manicore. And if you've had it 3 years, you're still getting mad at it, you might want to get you a Manicore. Sometimes you just don't gel with one, and that's another thing too of talking about best detectors. One person may just not gel with a metal detector, and that's just how it goes with that. But hey, you guys, I appreciate all you guys tuning in, and I'll see you guys in a few weeks. If something good comes up or something changes, that coil comes out. But keep an eye out for the hunting video. And if I don't find it, well, I'm going to try to do a little bit of both while I'm there. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, but I'm going to try to do a little tutorial on iron too. So you guys keep an eye out. Hey, all right, man, you guys have a great night. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Later.